Hi, greetings everyone. My name is Kyle, the Front Speaker Grant. I'm the web admin for the T&T Anglican Church. Today we have another edition of Testimony Tuesday, brought to you by the Anglican Church in the Diocese of Trinidad and Tobago. Today we have an Anglican business owner by the name of Issa Baisden. He owns iConsult as well as TT Fix It. You'll hear a lot more about that business tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be featuring him at Anglo-business. That'll be tomorrow at 2 p.m. TT time. All right, so I'm going to bring in Issa, and he's going to talk about, give us his testimony. All right, just a little synopsis on the testimony. We'll be talking about navigating a business through the difficult times during this pandemic, as well as dealing with the loss of loved ones, something that we can all relate to because we have lost a loved one in one way or the other during the past couple of years. All right, so bringing in Mr. How are you doing, sir? All is well?
I am great. I try to say that as much as possible,
Yeah,
to help create it,
definitely. So thanks for taking the time, one, to come on. I know you're very busy trying to close off the year with your businesses, as well as the great conversation we had in the beginning of this year, as well as I think it was last week. We had a nice phone conversation. All right,
Yep.
so we'll start with a business, something that you have a strong passion for. Tell me, or tell us now. There's people from all over the world. It's just so.
Yeah.
Right. Feel free to take a little plug on it. Tell me, how's it
All
going?
right. Well, so let's put it like this. I mean, I've always been the person who wanted to help create a business for myself, my family in the long run, that type of thing. And when I was, I think, 4 years old in primary school, my mother decided to send me to school with pentacles in a bag, right? And when I came home, I had money rolling around in the bag, and she didn't know where I got the money from. I had sold the pentacles in school to be able to make money, and that's kind of where my entrepreneurship spirit almost began at 4 years old, where I didn't want the pentacles and somebody else wanted them, and so I sold them in school, you know. So yeah, um, and I'd encourage as many Anglicans and to really take that dive and try at the entrepreneurship itself. You don't know what you could accomplish until you actually try and start. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You know. Yeah. Um.
So tell us,
So
from the age of 4, so you sell out all your pentacles now. What made you grow from there? From pentacles to where you are today?
So I had spent a number of years in the academic realm doing, IT and others, and had gotten to the stage where I had done a business degree at Alpha Jack. And you can't go to business school and not have a business, right? Or at least you shouldn't. And so that iConsult was born from that dream, all right, to create solutions that most people wouldn't think about, and to use that to create business for myself and opportunity for growth and those things as well. From those opportunities that came, and solving problems in education and HR and others, we were able to spawn TT Fix It, which is another solving another key problem for other industries. So iConsult is mainly HR based now. So we solve a lot of problems in the for and I know you will hear more about the businesses as they go along. But in the HR realm, we do recruitment on behalf of companies, but so specific and detailed that the person we hire is going to change your company for the better. Um, and then for the individual, interview skills, resume writing, that kind of stuff as well. We do some drama with it, and in terms of teaching the skills and those things as well, training and development. All right. TT Fix It, on the other hand, was born more from my IT skills background, where we're able to do security cameras, computer repairs and maintenance, and we've solved some key problems now, even for the agriculture sector, where we're able to do solar Wi-Fi security cameras, which have solved some of the pretty larceny issues that we're having as well. Yeah, forgive the background noise. I'm
That's
a, while doing all of these things at the same time, I'm a young father myself as well.
definitely.
So
So tell us
I would
about
say,
your family. That's it cute to tell us about your how's it been
but COVID has been challenging on many different levels. And we have to try to take the adversity and create it into opportunity. So that's what we attempted to do. I mean, while we did um, realize that a lot more companies were not recruiting the same way, so we started to tailor it more towards the recruitment during a pandemic. We, as a young and small business, we were able to be a little bit more mobile than a lot of the larger companies. Found ways to look at individuals and how they were getting back into the workspace and getting into the workspace altogether. And that's where those interview skills and resume writing skills and those things really have made an impact. And so while many companies have actually found a downturn because of COVID, we've actually found an upturn because of COVID. So we've taken that adversity and tried to turn it into a strength by solving the problems for people. All right. And that's kind of where we go with even with the TT Fix It as well, to make sure that we're always in that positive space of helping solve the problem. Yeah.
right? So if you guys out there, if you have any comments or questions to Issa, we're going to be he has a meeting right after this, so we don't want to take too long today. But you feel free to leave the comments even if you're off live, and I will relay them to him even if the live is finished at that time. So we have Issa Baisden here. He's the CEO of two companies that he just summarized for us, as well as a family man, as you heard the crying in the background. All right, you can't get away from that. So tell us about going more into your family life. So tell us about the business, and of course been building this business for your is that a son you have?
As a
How many?
daughter, actually, she's 3 years old, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's been online preschool, right? It's been
She she is she selling pennicles as it?
well, well, funny story. We
Oh,
actually carried her to the the flea market, right? So I sat up in the flea market. I was selling the security cameras, things like that. So she takes a little walk around with her mother, and she goes to one of the vendors, and she's like, okay, I want this toy, and the woman is like, okay, it costs $5. She's like, hold on, I have money, and she goes into my vehicle and takes away her little stash of coins that she had stashed to come to pay the woman for her toy that she wanted. Right? So that's my daughter at 3. Right?
very good. Yeah,
So
very good. That's so she knows the value of money already, and she knows where to get it. All I love about it is that you said that was your vehicle, but that was her stash of money.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, everybody in that family knows, knows their rule and knows their boundaries. So, all right. So that's what's her name if you don't mind me. Uh,
Gabrielle Baisden.
young Gabriel
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah, we're looking out for her. And this one's a name to be put out there in public. These are exclusive people. So when Gabrielle is a lot older, she'll be following in the steps of her father. Please go ahead. All right, so that's a family life. You also shared with me that you lost members of your family during COVID. If you don't mind just touching on that, and not only that, but how have you coped with it? Because
Yeah.
one thing I've learned about you is that you're an extremely positive guy. Even when you started today, you say, I tell you, I am great. I just keep saying I'm great. How do you keep that positive mentality with all that's going on?
Well, all things always only possible through God. I mean, He doesn't give us anything that we can't handle. It's been a journey, and so not just COVID in terms of having friends that have been lost because of COVID, but family as well have been lost during this period. So on March the 9th last year, my father passed away. It wasn't due to COVID, but probably because of the stresses of COVID. So it was actually just before we started the full lockdown and those things as well. So he was preparing. Um, and he really was the rock of the family, so to speak. So my mother, my sister, and myself, um, indeed have gone through some significant pain psychologically, emotionally. But I mean, remaining and creating positivity is something that we have to do within each and every one of our spaces. So when somebody says good morning to me, for example, I try not to even use the word morning because it sounds too much like morning, right? And instead use good day, or have an awesome day, or something to that effect, that will allow us to really celebrate the day rather than the things that are going negative. I mean, I try to keep myself away from the negativity. So looking at the news too much in terms of that part of it as so negative all the time, surrounding myself with positive people as well too, people that will help support the vision and the dream, you know. And that's helped, the language, is the internal self-talk, that kind of stuff as well. And that close relationship with God that is personal and intensely personal. All right. So, and we as Anglicans know that very well as well. And it is an important part of our journey that we continue to have that conversation with God and ask for his, guidance and you know, um being able to accept situations and those things as well too, and how best we can continue to put one foot in front of the other. It's important to maintain that positivity.
Definitely, and I understand that to maintain that positivity, what you're saying is that it has to be intentional.
Okay.
You started every ounce of your life, um, intentionally was a path towards positivity, from your mindset, the things that you said, to the things that you say, and that translates to the things that you do. So I now understand that's your formula for getting it right. Let me challenge you with one quick question. At
Mm.
times when we lose, I also lost a family member.
Condolences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. One of the things that I don't know if other people, you could chime in if you want. One of the challenges was, as much as we go to church and we try to be as spiritual as possible, because God is intangible, I realized that I wasn't turning to God first. I turned to other means of trying to cope with it. I eventually reached the God. I guess it's because of my connection to church. Have you had or experienced, if not you, or have you seen someone or other people um, not turn to God first, but other things? Some may turn to alcohol, or
Mm.
yeah, who even bury themselves into work and trying
Yeah.
to distract themselves, and then it piles up, and then they have stress and anxiety and things like that. Tell me.
Yeah. So I have a close family member, and I won't say who it is in this case, who does that very frequently. They are always on the grind, always on the move, and so that they bury themselves in work to get away from the grief, you know, and did not really deal with the pain effectively. Didn't ask God to give some sort of a comfort in that sense, and um, it really did pile up, and it gets to a point where you burst. It's not humanly possible not to have an outlet. It's just like a balloon that keeps pumping in the air. It's going to pop eventually. And so it's very, very important to make sure that we let out that air all the time, and find ways to have that outlet, and let God be that channel to be able to have those outlets. So we do a lot of charity work, with hampers and other things as well too, and try to keep ourselves grounded, and making a difference in the community. Some of the programs that we've designed, from TT Fix It, for example, with that mindset of making sure that we give back and do as much as we can. And that helps to have that relationship, because it always says that, or at least if my quotation's a little bit wrong here, forgive me. But where you've helped others, you've helped Jesus as well, and um, it's important that we do so in every step of our lives, that we continue to help people on a daily basis, and it is important to us. you know, and that's part of our belief system. Yeah.
Yes, totally understood. Do you would you recommend counseling or going to a professional counselor for people who are going through grief or uh, tell me.
Well, yes and no. Counseling may be a step,
Mm,
and it's an important step, and if it really does get to a point where it is difficult to manage, yes, go by all means, seek counseling, and in some semblance of the way it, um you have to make that decision yourself as well too. You have to make the decision to want to heal, and if you haven't made that decision, counseling isn't going to help you. All right. If you haven't, sat down and spoken to God and say, look, I want to get better, it's not going to facilitate those channels effectively enough. So yeah, other people are more, some people are more receptive to counseling than others. Some people are more receptive to God and his majesty and his works, as well too. And so, sometimes picking up your Bible, sometimes, just having a conversation with God, can help you deal with a situation that is troublesome to deal with, and ask him to reveal all. And so having that balance, making sure that you have some professional help if it really does get bad, and making sure that you have counsel from, again, we have, some Anglicans that can assist in that way as well too. I know there are a number of outreach programs, and making sure that we have, every way that we can help to solve the problem available, because it can't be done on your own. It's um it's really important.
Let me ask you to expound on a bit. So for you, I found out how, or we have learned how you cope with negative things happening in your life, and we all go through it, good, bad, indifferent, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
there are things that are not going to be favorable sometimes in life, and you have surrounded yourself with positive people and try to instill yourself daily a positive mindset.
Hmm.
Also, you touch on uh, giving out pampers that's giving people some sort of temporary relief. How do you think that uh, as individuals we can help other people go through the time of distress?
Yeah, but I mean, part of it is that, God works through people, right? And so just a conversation with somebody who's going through pain is important, and that's something I try to do as well too. I mean, I think, and not any religious fear, but others. One of my important motivators for me has been Les Brown. And there's a quote where he talks about the fact that you can't sprinkle happiness on others without getting a little bit on yourself. Right. And so the more you try to make other people happy, is the more you're going to feel happy on the inside as well too. Is the more it's going to resonate with you, that you want to create positivity, not just for yourself but for other people as well. And so that sharing and that creating of that capacity for positivity is what will provide positivity in your life as well. And I mean, that's just how I'm able to cope with it as well too. And I mean, all of these principles are firmly rooted within the Bible as well too. Yeah.
Yes, so the verse Issa paraphrase, just went on research it very quick, will be Matthew chapter 20. When you put that up in the chat, man. Technology, we use it to say Issa. Right?
Yeah.
Right, so
Yep.
check this verse here. Right? No matter what version in the Bible will come out this year. Matthew chapter 25, verses 35 to 40. All right, so guys, it was let's see. You have any other part of your testimony that you're willing to share? I know that some of the things we discussed was a bit personal, so I don't want to, you know, give out too much. Is there anything else you would like to share as part of your testimony?
Well, I mean, so let's put it like this, right? In terms of I only shared part of what has happened over the last the last year, right? So last year to 2 years. So I first started off, well, I had a little business partnership that went awry, and I should put it like that. I don't know if I shared this as well, but I got into business with someone and spent almost $80,000. Trying to get some furniture and those kind of things to start the business properly and those kind of things. And he got shot and died. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and so none of that is actually recoverable
So
in
this
essence.
was all in 1 year? The
This was
same?
about a year and a half to 2 years.
Uh,
So, right? So, yeah, this was just before this whole period with the COVID and and so that happened. And then my father, and then after that, my car got stolen. All right. From out front, right? Out front of the apartment building. Um, and that rehashed, some of the it's not the first time I've been stolen from. When I was now starting agriculture, which is why I came out of agriculture, they stole my tools, right? From on the land and those things as well. And was held up at gunpoint and they tried to take my girlfriend at the time car. And it's been a constant journey of dealing with the negative and how we able to cope with that on a daily basis is mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally is something that we have to continuously do. I mean, you know, the and I put it earlier like this: you have to keep putting one foot in front of the other.
let me ask something though. Speaking as man to man here, right? Man to man.
Mm,
What do you hear again? This, apart from people watching live. Now,
mm,
in a time like that, I'll be extremely angry. Right? And
mm,
most men would be angry and it's turned into aggression. And even
mm.
how you dealing with people, how do you manage to keep that smile, that warmth, that in your personality? Or is that, and let me ask a second thing before a follow-up question. Right? So that's one. Second one is, were you positive throughout your lifetime? Or has the negative experiences taught you or shaped you into becoming a positive person? Tell me.
Yeah, I'll probably start with the last one first. And yes, some of the negative experiences in my life have helped shape the positivity. Not just the negatives, but the people who are around me who help me deal with the negatives as well too. Help to shape my behavior and how I'm able to keep that positivity as well. The more people again you surround yourself with who have that positive mission, positive vibe, those things as well is the more that is going to continue to create that positivity and that positive space, right? And yeah, I've been negative in my life. I've been in situations where yes, the anger does take hold, yes, the pain does take hold, and it was important for me to channel it, to focus on something else, pull a taijutsu and turn it into something else, and that is where TT Fix It came from. They stole my car in August. In July, I started doing security cameras for people in August. Right? I take it and I turn it into a solution and turn it into a business and I make back the money. Right? So, that's kind of how I, dealt with it. For me, channel that energy and that pain sometimes into something that could be positive. Now I'm at the point where I'm creating employment for people and solving security situations for neighborhoods and those things as well, not just individuals but neighborhoods as well at the same time. So yeah, that's how I see it. Try and turn it into something positive. Sorry. And that here, yeah.
Was me today as I came back in. Apologies. So one thing, especially young men, I know this goes for everyone, right? But especially young men, that's something I think Issa is an example. How he took the problems and turned it into not just a solution, a money-making solution. Is a man who came up from 4 years old selling penny in school as a young daughter, doing the same, knowing the value of money, where to get it and how to use it. And was it, if you don't mind asking, you have any support family wise? I know being a dad ain't easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well, my wife.
I know it, I know yeah, give she some.
My wife is amazing as well. As a matter of fact, I'm not the HR professional. She is the HR professional, not myself. All right. So, yeah, and she's been a constant source of support, whether it be setting up the tent to go to a flea market or making sure home is secure. Right. There's food on the table. Just saying. Right. And ensuring that we have that positivity going forward. Now, I mean, it's all not a walk in the park. We always have, when two individuals are joined, you will have differences, and we have three of those major differences, which rip apart marriages. And so it's been a constant growing that we've been going through to be able to create the great relationship that we have now. you know we were part of the marriage course from oh gosh, um with Uncle Trevor and Auntie Pam and All Saints, right? As well as we did seek additional counseling with the pastor of the church at the time. um all right, so the everything that I was thinking was uh Reverend Tanya at the time. Yeah, right. So it's important to make sure you have those support systems, not just in your family system, but also within your church system, also within those structures that are outside, and recognize what you are actually dealing with. The more you recognize, identify those things that you're dealing with, is the more you're able to cope with them. All right. And so we had those three, which are very, very difficult to deal with. One, different religious backgrounds, right? So although she is Christian, she comes from more Pentecostal background. Um, Two, we were dealing with different family structure backgrounds. So I was fortunate to have my mother and my father. You know, she grew up with her father passed away unfortunately at 11. um, we also had and there was five girls, so it was a pretty challenging situation for them as well, and different socio-economical backgrounds as well too. So we were a little bit more middle income, whereas they were not. And so making sure that we dealt with some of the pain that both of us have faced growing up, making sure that we dealt with how we're going to look at the future, and how we're going to raise our daughter, and those things. All of those things have to come in to make a positive space to be able to have a positive marriage and you can't have a positive business without a positive marriage, and you can't have a positive work life if you don't have and balance if you don't have a positive space at home. And so all of those are really, really important to make sure that they are built in that way, um, to have positivity at every step and every turn, right, as best as possible. Right?
Definitely. So sounds like your life, you have a great degree of stability as a man. Yeah,
It's talking to right. Okay, that's good.
yeah. Even you laugh and all, it sounds like a happy man. Everything you have self, you have your mindset, you have your positive mindset, you have your team surrounding you, your support system, family, as well as your business team that you have the meeting with just now. So I'm not going to keep you too long again. Uh, you have also the external factors we could do for counseling. You said that's a one step. It's not the end all, solve all. You start counseling, get the advice, and then you know, take the necessary steps thereafter to resolve the issue. All right, you try not to you try to turn to God first, and not try to dodge from situation. The example you gave for the unnamed family member, try not to get distracted, deal with the situation head on. As right, I'm saying, I'm paraphrasing, of course. Of course, he gave us check the comments there. You'll see a verse that we pulled out from what Issa would have shared with us. So right, so look out for I consult TT and TT Fix It on Anglo-Biz tomorrow at 2 p.m. Premiering the video. Feel free to reach out to Issa for business. If you want to reach out to him you need some advice in terms of the testimony shared today, please leave it in the comments so that I could, brace him for it, because I know this is the end of the year, and if you're into business, you'll know closing off the years are very, very, not only closing off, you're trying to start the year one time. So as the weekend finishes and Monday morning the new year starts, you want to be ready for that. All right. So you took any breaks by chance? Any
Sorry,
breaks this season? You took any breaks for the season?
break
Or you
was that?
go see
No,
man.
okay, so okay, so I actually did take a break. I was forced
Oh,
to take a break.
yeah.
Uh, that's because I got COVID, actually.
Oh,
So I did get COVID. As a matter of fact, all of us in the household did end up with COVID. So we were under quarantine for,
wow.
21 days and, trying to run a business virtually while COVID is going on, while trying to get the other things going on and, trying to purchase a home at the same time and trying to, it's been crazy.
Crazy transition.
Um, and again it's all just one step in front of the other, man. It is not rocket science. I mean, it's put one foot in front of the other, just take the step and continue to push.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Million miles ahead, one single step to get there.
that's it.
Starts with that. All right, so thanks a lot, Isha. We have plenty. We fit in here tomorrow, so this is not the end. This is actually the first step using your analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
For making a breakthrough in the Anglican community. So thanks again for your time. Thank
Not a
you
problem.
for tuning in, people. The video will be still available on the Anglican Outlook YouTube channel. Please subscribe, as well as the Anglican Outlook Facebook page. Please like and follow. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Okay, take care.